Cənab Emil Koster, səhv eləmirəmsə, ilk söz ona veriləcək və ardınca digər iştirakçılarımız təqdimatları və öz fikirləri ilə çıxış edəcəklər. This floor is yours.
This is my first time here in Baku. Thank you, organization Organ, for an excellent job you have done in your team. I can confirm that the lunch was good, so no complaints about that. So I want to introduce a little bit about our company. If we look to the industrial markets and what we see here in the world is that there is a more and more growth and request for water on demand. And what does that mean? What we see is that clients don't want to pay for a big wastewater treatment plant. They simply want to pay for what they use and what they need to treat. So there is more and more asking for water on demand. What also is important, and this is also what you can see here in this graph, is that we have to close the loop. You cannot imagine, I'm from the Netherlands. Everybody thinks the Netherlands is green. We have a lot of tulips, hell of a lot of water, and we know a lot about dikes and what to do with water. In our country, there is already a drought, a shortage of water. Why do we have a shortage of water? Because the Netherlands was always focused, because we are in a delta of a river, to bring the water as fast as possible to the sea. Now we cannot afford it anymore. We have to keep the water in the country to make sure we can grow our crops and we have enough drinking water. Poland, same story, shortage of water. It's not only a matter of countries in Africa where everybody already has the picture. There is a drought and there is sand and there are big famines because of shortage of water. It also happens already in Western Europe, in a modern country like the Netherlands. So we have to take care about closing the loop. Closing the loop means for us all that we reuse the water, that we see the value of water. Here in Azerbaijan, I noticed 1 liter of petrol is roughly 0.6 euro, if you calculate it with the exchange rate. If we look to 1 liter of water, it's only 0.04 euro. We are discussing here together scarcity of water. Then we have to ask ourselves, why is the price of water that low? Because it's scarce. It's low because it's a political price. It's not a price which has anything to do with the market value. If we would have the same principles like with petrol, the price of 1 liter of water should be at least 5 times higher. If the price of water was 5 times higher, everybody would be more concerned by conserving the water and reusing the water. Think about that. So what drives today's client? Of course, it's business case orientated. Whatever we offer, the client should have a profit or a saving with that. Water is scarce. We should make resilient solutions. We see worldwide stricter and stricter environmental regulations. More and more, we have to make sure that we follow the rules set by the government. Also, flexibility is required. No longer a company has to be at the same place for years and years. Some companies say after 10 years I go to the next location. What to do with the wastewater treatment plant? Maybe we can ship it. So what is becoming important is not total cost of ownership, but total benefit of ownership. The green image. We see a lot of companies advertising in the media with a green image. One of the parts of the green image is, of course, what are you doing with your waste? What are you doing with your wastewater? And it should be very, very reliable. 24/7, 365, or in some cases 366 days per year. Running, running, running. So we go from the circular towards the smart city. So not treating the water of the city end of pipe. No, maybe we are going to treat the water from a city on the block, an apartment block, or maybe in a small part of this town. Make there your treatment and keep the water in that area instead of expensive pipes going out of the city, spending a lot of money for maintenance for that, and treating it in a huge wastewater treatment plant, which also takes a lot of money. So become smart in your city. Reuse water coming from your toilets. Reuse the water coming from washing your dishes. I think that becomes more and more important. Sour. What is our main target? Our target is mission water. Very simple. We want to make sure that we treat the water properly. Our divisions, we have water services, we have water engineering, and we have industrial water solution. Water services means bringing water to the client, bringing water to the people, making sure that the people have good drinking water. Water engineering has to do with everything, with pipes, with installations, and the industrial water solution, where I'm a part of, has to do with dealing with water and recirculation of industrial wastewater. We do that. We have roughly, at this moment, 1,000 people. We are working in 140, 150 countries. We exist since 1904, so already for a very long period of time. And we have a turnover of roughly 200 to 250 million euro per year. Worldwide, we have 4,000 references. Here, some thing which we are thinking is the footprint or the DNA of our company. We have a strong international footprint. We are experts in industrial wastewater, so not only city, but also industrial. In our DNA is innovation. So innovation is a very important part of our business. We focus on health and safety. There is only one thing important in our company, health and safety. Profit is not important. Health and safety of our people is the most important. And that's what we're looking for first. As said, we are partnered with multinational companies. We have roughly 4,000 industrial references worldwide. And we address the global water challenges and prepare us for the future. We are the one-stop shop for industrial wastewater. So I always say, if you have a pump pit and you want to reach something, whether you bring the water to the river or if you want to recycle the water, whatever you want to do with it, we can provide everything in between, including the engineering, including the equipment. Does not mean that we will build everything ourselves. It doesn't make sense for us to build a pump. That's something we will buy, but we can make the complete project, including, if necessary, civil construction. So, as said, we make the latest solid and adaptive innovations. Reduce. So, we have new developments in taking out medication out of wastewater, medicines out of wastewater. A lot of elderly homes, a lot of hospitals have in their wastewater chemicals which cannot be taken out by normal systems. We have to take care of them because they will pollute the environment and they will make sure, for instance, that fish will mutate. And we have to take care of that. Reuse. Smart membrane applications. We have a client which is, imagine this, a chicken slaughterhouse. This client could not, let's say, expand his production because he had lack of water. What we are doing is treating the water in such a way that he can reuse that in its production. So it's drinking water approved out of wastewater, and imagine what is inside from a slaughterhouse. Recover, very important. What a lot of people forget in wastewater, there is a lot of value. Fat, for instance, in wastewater is value. If you can take out the fat out of the wastewater and reuse it, it's value. And there are a lot of industries where the value goes away with the wastewater. If you can reuse it, then, or recover it, then you make money. Some examples you can see on this slide. So, as said, we try to close the loop. Pre-treatment, step of treatment. Secondary treatment can be biological, can be anaerobic treatment steps. Tertiary treatment, all needed for bringing the water to the quality which you want to have, whether you reuse it, whether you put it to irrigation, whether you bring it to the river. I was astonished when I started 30 years ago working in the Russian territory. They have the strictest norms in the world, of everybody, much stricter than we have. But we have to fulfill them. Of course, we have to take care about the wastes we generate, because we generate also wastes with building wastewater treatment plant. So not simply build a treatment plant, no, also take care of the waste. Whether it is dewatering, whether this is biogas production, whatever is possible. And then, of course, all the services around it, whether this is engineering, taking samples, things like that. So where can you find us? That goes from the upstream. If we look to the oil and chemicals, companies like Orlen, we are working with. Desalination, oil and gas, food, dairy, beverages, some names, Coca-Cola, Mars, PepsiCo, urban water and municipal, paper and pulp, cosmetics, L'Oreal, MSD, Aflofarm, meat processing, some big names, Tyson, Cedrop. And what we try to do is a customer for life approach, which means that we want to keep the customer not for one deal, but we want to come back to him. We want to teach him. We want to discuss with him. If the client in 5 years' time has an extension of his production, we also want to be there to help him. So we try to help him with everything, with operation, with analysis, with equipment, with engineering. We try to keep the client and make sure that the client is ready for future. And I think that's the last slide. Okay, oh, one moment, this is going not good. So wherever do we manufacture? We manufacture in Italy with our company Unidro. We of course manufacture in Doetinchem. Somehow this is not, okay. So manufacturing in Italy, manufacturing in the Netherlands. Very important, as said, quality management, safety and quality, very important. Also environment. We have the various ISO certificates in place. So in a nutshell, what are we doing? We are working with sewer industry in municipalities. We are working in industry, trying to do the whole business. Ecovert, part of our company, dealing with biogas plants, specifically beer, pulp and paper, starch manufacturing, those kind of things. Unidro, specialized in dealing with wastewater for especially oil and gas companies. So specifically upstream and downstream wastewater treatment plants and packages. Nortech, engineering company, taking care of big engineering works located in Scotland. Reventa, pump optimization to make sure that you have preventative maintenance in time for your pumps. They have specific sensors for that. New company in our group, PWNT, makes a specific ceramic membrane suitable for instance, to producing drinking water. Very interesting company. Biosis, company dealing with biogas treatment, so taking the value out of the biogas, which is ammonia, and the ammonia is converted to, for instance, ammonium sulfate, which is a fertilizer. So that's one of the recovery strategies which we have in-house. Sodai, Italian company specialized in O&M, so operating and maintenance of big plants. So they have their own staff, do that worldwide, and operate and maintain plants for clients. So if you want to completely outsource your wastewater treatment plant, this is the company which can help. And nou juist, and I think this is the more or less the last slide. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Təşəkkür edirik Emil bəy Kosterə.